What's up guys, NepentheZ here, and welcome back to another FIFA 23 video. Foot Sheriff has announced to us all that the Showdown Series promo is coming back. I think actually EA themselves have announced that the Showdown Series is coming back. They gave the new loading screen of the Showdown Series. It starts in 1 day, 23 hours, which of course is going to be Friday at 6 p.m. We're going to talk a little bit today about what new Showdowns we could get, what happened in the Showdown Series in FIFA 22, because we did have one, and then look at some other matchups that may give us some new Showdown Series cards. If you guys are enjoying the content, feel free to drop a thumbs up. So first things first, how does a Showdown Series work? Well, EA pick a whole bunch of matches throughout the week. I believe last year there was actually one SBC per day, and then there was also some like objective cards as well, and the Silver Stars. And basically, they pick a random match, even though it's Showdown, the games always seem to be random, and they pick two random players that have probably had like 9 promo cards this year and probably like 50 promo cards in previous years together, and then they give them like an 86, 87, or 88 rated card. If the game ends in a draw, both players get upgraded +1. If one team wins and the other team loses, the winning team gets upgraded +2. That's how the Showdown Series works. In FIFA 22, these are some of the upgraded cards. Some of them got the +2 upgrade, some of them got the +1. We had Harvey Barnes from Leicester, and these cards at this stage were actually really nice. And it leads me into thinking about what is this one going to be, because this Showdown Series last year started in April. This year it's starting in February, right? So it's interesting because we're starting it 2 weeks earlier, 2 months earlier, actually. Maybe like a month and a half earlier, actually. But what's also interesting is, even these upgraded cards in FIFA 22 are only about good enough now for FIFA 23. And so, what we're going to have to see, surely, is 88, 89 rated starting cards that get upgraded to 90 or 91 as a minimum. And obviously we had some here that, you know, started at 87 and 88, and that's going to have to be a minimum. But I also think we're going to have to see some like 90 and 91s that get upgraded to 92s and 93s, because we've already got so many insane cards in the game. So last year we had like Tavernier, Pavard, who was a good card, Ryan Kent, who was also a good card, Suso, who was surprisingly good last year, Richarlison, who of course has had like so many promo cards this year already as well. We had that Serdar that I don't remember playing with. I don't know if you guys remember playing with him. Weston McKennie, who was very good. I actually think he was in some pro teams for a brief period of time. Matheus Thula, that was the Silver Stars card. We then had Carl Vangu when he played for Fulham. Serge Aurier, who got upgraded as well, and that card was legit. We had Yuri Medeiros, and although he wasn't a popular one because of his league and his links, you know, the old chem system and all, I actually played a lot of games with that card on my road to glory. I thought he was very good, and if I remember correctly, his SBC was like 40k or so. We had Curtis Jones that everybody loved. Imedic Laporte was very good. Thiago Mendes, I don't remember really playing with him much. Haraguchi, if you would have asked me to name every single player in this team, on my life, I would never have been able to guess him or remember him. I just did not remember him. Weghorst was a defining player in the FIFA 22 game cycle, wasn't he? The regular Weghorst was good, very good. The upgraded Weghorst was, I would probably like lean in and say, the most broken player in FIFA history. I've never seen a player in all my life ragdoll defenders like that Weghorst ragdoll defenders. You just pop a ball up to him from the goal kick, and even like Team of the Year Van Dijks and stuff, he was just laying them out. It was so good. So chat's telling me, who was it that was the objective cards last time around, guys? Who were the objective cards? So we also had that Brozovic, who was a very good card. I think Yarmolenko was an objective, wasn't he? Yarmolenko was one of the objective cards. Goetze, I don't remember too much. I don't know if he was very good. We had Braithwaite, who was very good. So, it's Mendes and Yarmolenko. Yeah. I didn't play with that Mendes much, but that Yarmolenko was decent. Braithwaite was very, very good. And Barnes was also very, very good. So last year, that is the selection of players we got. I wouldn't be surprised if we got some of the same players this year, because you know what EA are like. And it's crazy actually to see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Premier League players out of that batch of players, and expect more the same. We had a little look at some of the upcoming games this weekend for what we could see in the first few days of the promo this time around. Of course, the series runs throughout the week, Friday at 6 p.m, probably until Wednesday or Thursday, 6 p.m. next week. And so a lot of the games that are going to be attributed to these showdowns are going to be next weekend's games, not this upcoming weekend's games. However, when the promo starts Friday at 6 p.m, they're going to have some games from this weekend. And some of the ones that we picked out here is Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid. And we could definitely see the French midfield sort of setup come back again. You know, if we look at some of the French midfielders that we've got in the game this year, there are so many. And you guys know, right? EA love, and I mean love, a French special centre mid, don't they? We have got Benzema, Nkunku, Kante, Ribery as a cam, Pogba, Cherki, Payet, Fekir, Fofana, Tolisso, Fekir again, Payet again, Camavinga, Thuram, Savanier, but it's an inform, Sissoko, Favre, Lamar with a special card, Tchouaméni already with a special card, that Bellegarde that was sick, Rabiot, Guendouzi. It's just great, isn't it? Like, they love it, which means Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid could definitely be a showdown that we see on Friday at 6 p.m. And something like this, I wouldn't actually be surprised if this was like an objective setup, if we had something like this. But it would depend, again, on where do we start these cards? Because if these cards start at like 87 or 88, and then one gets upgraded to a 90, it is that case, as per what we've got here, of it's just not enough. We already had the World Cup showdowns that already took, I mean, let's take this Fofana as an example, that already took cards to an 88. We can't be taking cards to an 88 or an 89 at this stage in the game when we already had showdowns taking cards to an 88 back in December in the World Cup, right? Which means we need these cards to be starting at 89 or 90 and bumping up to 91 or 92 as a minimum, right? As a minimum. And Tchouaméni and Lamar would be a great start to get rid of people's fodder. Like, they'd be well expensive, obviously. And if one of them got upgraded, they would just be an absolute demon in the game. We also looked at Manchester United versus Newcastle. Of course, it's a cup final. And I think I would love to see it. And I think EA would be fools to not add it. But I think it's what everybody wants to see in FIFA, isn't it? Bruno versus Bruno. Manchester United versus Newcastle. Cup final. Carabao Cup final. Does it even count as a cup these days? I don't remember. We've got Bruno Fernandes. That is his best card, the 90 rated. I know he has a team of the week right now. But imagine like a 91 showdown Bruno Fernandes and a 91 showdown Bruno Guimaraes. And the winner gets upgraded to a 93, and there will be no draws because it's a cup game, so it's a guaranteed winner. That could be quite special, especially if they give Bruno Fernandes like a weak foot or skill move upgrade, and Bruno Guimaraes a weak foot and skill move upgrade. We could just see two utterly bonkers cards. The reality is we're probably going to get, like, you know, God knows, like Botman against Shaw or something, right? But it would be great to see the two Brunos. We also picked out Spurs versus Chelsea as a matchup. I do know that this has been very Premier League themed so far. But one other thing we were looking at when looking at trying to pick cards is they do have to, or they don't have to, but I wouldn't be surprised if they started picking cards that have really low base overalls that don't have special cards. I know it's customary for EA to consistently and constantly pick cards that already have special cards, but Kulusevski with a weak foot upgrade and Madueke potentially with a skill move a weak foot upgrade, like these are two cards that you wouldn't actually mind starting at 86 or 87 because they have no special cards this year. Madueke is obviously a brand new transferred card to Chelsea, And so getting these guys like an 86 or an 87. Oh, wait, has Kulu got a road to the knockout? Oh, he has. Oh, I forgot about that. That was an SBC that's expired, though. You can't get that card ever again. So he still makes the most sense. He still makes the most sense. Do you know what I mean? No, he doesn't, does he? Who else from Spurs would we put in there? Who else from Spurs? Richarlison's got every card under. So has Højbjerg got a special card? No, he hasn't. Oh, he has. He's gone in for him. Never mind. Højbjerg would still work, though. Starting him as an 87 or an 88. Saucy Pedro? Do you know what? First of all, well, he doesn't... Does he even have a... He doesn't even have a card here, does he? Was he here? He doesn't have a card yet, but that doesn't mean that they can't give him a card. And as we well know, Saucy Pedro is a beautiful, beautiful man. He's had one of the all-time great cards of FIFA series. This one right here, and this one right here, to be fair. We packed his team of the season enough, but this Saucy Pedro was legit. EA are obviously not adverse to giving him special cards, so we could definitely see a Saucy Pedro and a Madueke. 2 transferred cards. Boost them both up to 87, 88. Give Pedro 4-star, 4-star. Madueke a 5-star somewhere. And let him hash it out. Perisic doesn't have one. Oh, Perisic definitely has a special card this year. Perisic has a... What's he got? Out of position for Perisic. And the World Cup team of the tournament. So you are correct technically. He doesn't have one. He has 2. So I don't think he's really there for it. But Madueke against Pedro Porro, that would be a great one because it's 2 transfer players, right? That would be really fun. We've then chose Celtic versus Rangers. Obviously, EA are going to make a showdown for this game. There's no doubt about it. One thing that we can't get caught out on doing is constantly looking at attacking midfield players and strikers and whatnot. So we decided to go for a couple of defenders here. Goldson is a player that EA have given special cards to in the past. I actually think one of them might have been a team of the season, but I also think he might have even had a, yeah, he did last year. Look at that. So he's got a team of the season in 21, and he had a card in FIFA 22 that didn't get upgraded. And then Cameron Carter-Vickers, I don't know, who's his base club? Was he Manchester City before he moved to Celtic permanently? I don't recall any special cards from him. Oh, he was Spurs. Spurs, Bournemouth, Stoke, Luton, Swansea. My man has been about Sheffield United. Who's that? Ipswich. My guy has been around the block. If ever there was a shout for somebody to deserve a special card, it's him. Cameron Carter-Vickers had an objective card this year. Yeah, but it was just an 84. And it was one of those season ones, wasn't it? I think it's okay to still make him into a showdown card. And the fact that they're giving him special cards now as well, happy days, right? So I think Goldson against Carter-Vickers, the links that they get to the Kent cards, the Tavernier cards. Who else have Celtic got some good players, haven't they, as well? Oh, no, they haven't. Damn. Maybe they won't use Cameron Carter-Vickers then because he's the only non-performance-based special card from Celtic. Maybe they go Starfelt. Maybe they go for one of the fullbacks. I don't think Ralston plays. Taylor plays a lot, doesn't he? Maybe, well, Giacomakis obviously isn't there anymore. Maybe they go Jota, but maybe Juranovic, because he's already got a good base pace. He could be an interesting one. They do love, I tell you what, EA do love a bit of Aaron Moy. When we look at his generations. Damn, maybe not. Just the one. Mate, somebody tell me, if you give me just a picture of him, right? And then, no, I'm sorry. That is not the same man. That is not the same man. This person here is not this person here. And like, this guy down here, that is not this guy here. Mate, even this guy right here, right? This gold 76 Moy, that's not the same guy. That's just two different bald guys. I'm sorry, man, but EA are just like, have we got a picture for Moy yet this year? No. Who in the office is fat and bald? You, over here. Photo. That's it. Now, this somewhat resembles this guy here. Yeah, he started... It doesn't look the same in like almost every year-to-year situation, does he? Either way, Aaron Moy deserves a card. He's had like one card, and that was for that was World Cup, wasn't it? This one, man, when he played for Huddersfield, team of the tournament, match day #1, and what a card that was as well. To be fair, Joe Hart has had quite a lot of specials, hasn't he? He had flashback last year, an inform and a Path to Glory, I want to say. A few man of the matches, a few other informs. Even then, Joe Hart hasn't really had too many, so he could get some as well, to be fair. So we could see Aaron Moy or Joe Hart instead of Cameron Carter-Vickers, just to give a different Celtic player. They're not giving a keeper. I mean, they have done this year, haven't they? Because we had Pope. Who was the other goalkeeper that we had? Pope was the one that got upgraded. Who was the keeper that we had that didn't get upgraded? Ward. It was Ward. So we've had Pope and Ward. So it's not like they won't give goalkeepers. So hopefully we get some goalkeepers. It could be Joe Hart. We've also had a look at Juventus against Torino for this weekend. Alexandro against Spurs. Sandro, another cult hero when it comes to EA giving special cards. And he's only had the World Cup card this year. So last year he had... Oh, I can't even remember what this promo was called, man. Oh, Fantasy. Wasn't this actually a sick promo? I remember this one. I liked this one a lot. This was like the 5 wins and then clean sheets for defenders or goals and assists for midfielders and attackers, wasn't it? Fantasy was a really cool promo. I liked it a lot. The year before, he had the... What is this? Road to the Final? Yeah, Road to the Final. The year before, he had a flashback and a Team of the Year honourable mention. The year before, he had a flashback and a headliners. The year before, he had... Man of the match? Was this a man of the match card? I can't remember. Oh, wait, Footies? Footies was a Footies card. Didn't win it unbelievably. But in general, EA love an Alexandro. So I would not be surprised to see him, which means then we would get a Torino player, and Schurz would be a good player. You know, another defender. I hope that EA don't go too attacker heavy and do give us some good defenders. Schurz obviously transferred from Ajax. Hasn't had any special cards in his entire history of Ultimate Team. So another deserving counterpart. And that is basically where we got to. We did start having a look at some midweek games and whatnot, but the new Showdown Series promo, guys, is going to be coming. I am, like, even though there's not going to be special cards in packs this week, or at least I assume there won't be. Imagine if they put a pair in packs. That'd be great, wouldn't it? Even though there's probably not going to be special cards in packs this week, unless they do like a best of or something. I actually really like the Showdown series, and I like the Showdown SBCs. It gets you involved in watching football, doesn't it? And it's something that I've loved about some of the promos that EA have done. The only thing that's going to be really interesting, right, is how are EA going to create something within FIFA that allows us to get fodder or coins to be able to craft all of these SBCs? Because League SBCs don't exist like they used to. They're not efficient anymore. There's no upgrade SBCs or anything really. Obviously, FIFA points is going to be one of them, right? But how are we expected to get the fodder for this? Let me know what Showdown you'd love to see in the comments, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. I'm out. Peace.